G'day there, podcaster.
Yes, here we are with our first special interview. We've all been chasing our special guest.
Very excited.
I'm going for the cum dog, Jason Cummings,
Yep.
from Central Coast Mariners and the Socceroos.
Yep.
Still no bites as far as he's concerned.
Yep.
A couple of people from the Chase Australia. Belle's still looking for hers. But Ben, yours is the first cab off the rank.
Yep, and I'm very excited for this chat. Untitled Leaf is what he goes by on YouTube. Good morning or good afternoon.
How you going? Nice to be here.
Now, do we call you Untitled Leaf, Ando, Mike? What do you prefer?
You can go Ando. Usually that's what people call out in the street. I didn't say my name was Michael for the longest time. Then 4 years into my career, someone leaked it on the internet. And everyone's like, oh, his real name's Michael. But
Yeah, right.
Ando's usually the internet persona. Yeah.
Okay, Ando. All right,
Yeah.
easy.
I mean, this is incredible. I mean, Ben's, I know naff all about Pokemon, by the way, but Ben's showed me a bit of a YouTube channel. I mean, you've got 2.5 million subscribers.
Yep.
And that, I feel like on YouTube that holds more weight as well because it's like the original way.
It's real. It feels so real.
It's real. Yeah, and less people have accounts.
So when you think about that, like 2.5 million, that's almost 1 million more than the population of South Australia.
I know.
How did you make it so big on the platform?
Well, honestly, I couldn't even tell you right now, but basically it's my 10th year on YouTube this year. So I've been doing it since I was in like year 12, year 11. And then pretty much every day I've been like uploading either a Pokemon card unboxing, like playing Pokemon Go, doing something like that. And people would click subscribe. I actually don't know how it's happened, but...
So you started doing it in school?
Yeah, pretty much. Like year 11, I started getting into the Pokemon side of things.
Yep.
But maybe year 7, I was doing like comedy sketches and all that. So we've been doing like YouTube a bit longer, but
right.
10 years doing the Pokemon stuff.
Man.
And let's be honest, like I'm sure when you first started doing it, it wasn't the coolest thing to be doing.
No, you know what? I actually it was pretty funny because not many people do it. So when you come to school and you can tell people like, oh, I just filmed a YouTube video last night. Everyone's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But then like the teachers started getting involved there. And I remember I had a like upload schedule every Monday. I'd come to school and everyone's like, oh, this is Ando's like upload day. Let's watch it on the projector.
Oh my God.
And this was like year 8. So like, I guess this is like 13 years ago now. So
Whoa.
it was like early on. Yeah.
What school did you go to?
Sacred Heart.
Yeah, right. And have they got you back in school to like speak to the kids?
Yeah, I think a couple of times, but I've been going back to my primary school at St. Peter's and been doing like a whole bunch of kid talks. It's always really fun because apparently it's the number one like requested career at the moment to become a YouTuber.
Yeah, well, it is
right.
now. It's kind of like the new hot thing. You were just on it early.
You gotta like caution them though. You're like, all right, it's not too like easy. The money comes much later. Yeah,
for sure. Sorry, man. Can we get you to come a little tad closer? That microphone sucks a little bit.
No worries.
Sorry, man.
So has YouTube sent you a commemorative plaque yet?
Yeah, so I got a couple of them actually. I got 100,000, which you get for 100,000.
Yeah.
Then I hit 1 million, so I got the 1 million subscriber one.
Yep.
Then they updated the plaque and sent me another 1 million subscriber one, so we got another one.
Man.
And then next up, we got the 10 million subscriber coming, which if everyone listening just clicks that subscribe, because I think we've got another 8 million people listening right now.
Get about 100.
Yeah.
So what did your sort of like parents and family and stuff make of the whole thing? Was it start out like a hobby and then you've managed to turn it into this awesome career? Like I'm assuming they were always supportive.
Yeah, I think they're always like pretty down. I was doing a lot of drama stuff and like all throughout as a kid, I'd film home videos with my dad and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So I love hosting stuff. And then in year 12, I think I became a YouTube partner, so I started earning a little bit of money.
Yep.
But then Disney actually signed me in year 12 because it was the first ever YouTube thing. So I signed to Disney and then I started flying out to do a couple cameos and a few TV shows. And that's when the parents were like, oh, wow, okay, this is something. And on my first year at uni, I wasn't doing my assignments. I wasn't getting them in properly. And the lecturer was like, Ando, why are you not doing your assignments? It's crazy you're not turning them in. I was like, I'm flying to Sydney every weekend to do like either brand deals or commercials. And he's like, you do realize people go to uni to do what you're doing right now. There's no point.
So what did you go to uni for? What were you studying?
Media arts.
Oh, okay. And you're already doing that.
I know.
And so when you say YouTube partner, is that do you get your revenue just through ads through your YouTube channel?
Yeah, pretty much. So the ad that you watch before a YouTube video, you don't get that much money. You get a couple of cents, but when it starts to add up and you get a couple million views, that's like, it starts compiling.
Yeah.
And then it goes off how long they watched the ad for and all that sort of stuff.
What's like your most viewed video? If you click on that most viewed tab, like what's the biggest numbers you've pulled on a video?
Called The Real Life Pokeball, and it has 15 million views. And I reckon I recorded it in about 8 minutes. So hard work pays off. Yeah.
Man. And just, quick maths on that. I mean, 15 million people watching it, even if it's only a few cents for every person watching that ad. I mean, you can probably buy a house off the back of that.
So when you were in uni, so how old were you where you went from this is a hobby to this is a career?
I remember being like first year of uni and I was like just messaging all these other YouTube creators and like, when did you know it was the right time to drop out? And no one gave me a straight answer. Like, it's different for everybody. Like, look at the bank account. And so I think like second year of uni, I just wasn't doing any assignments. And I was like, you know what? Like, what if we just went like full bore?
Yeah.
And then I think I just dropped out, told my parents I was dropping out, and I went crazy for a year.
Yep.
And then pretty much bought the house at the end of my street because I needed a bigger studio because I was sleeping in my closet at the time. In my parents' attic was where I'd film it, and there wasn't any like bedroom space, so I opened up my closet, put my mattress in there, and that's where I'd sleep.
So obviously, I get the vibe that most of the revenue is YouTube. But do you get any revenue through Pokemon? Because obviously you do so many unpacking, unboxing the cards.
Yeah.
Then do you go on to sell those, or do you just keep those?
No, at the moment I'm keeping like pretty much everything. Early on, I think the money was like a bit of a struggle, so you would like try to sell a couple of the good ones, but you get so attached to the Pokemon cards. I don't know about you, but when you pull a good card, you're like, I can't get rid of this.
Oh,
It's too cool.
Yeah.
Well, and now, like, I mean, we obviously don't have to get into details to talk turkey, but I mean, I saw you literally drive a bloody McLaren.
Yeah.
So that's not everyone gets to drive around a McLaren. Are you you've sort of set yourself up for life doing what you love now?
I don't know. I still have panic attacks each morning. Like, what am I doing? I'm opening Pokemon cards every day. Like, this can't be sustainable. One day it's getting taken away from me, but I think every day I just try to make the most of it. And then if it goes away tomorrow, I'll happily apply at Woolworths and KFC.
And there's always Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh, exactly. Blue Eyes White Dragon.
So is it all Pokemon cards for you, or is it anything else? Like, is it just Pokemon? Is there other stuff that gets your attention?
Yeah, I mean, I love pretty much everything. Like, I always love getting into different hobbies and all that, but pretty much the YouTube channel is Pokemon.
Yep.
I somehow, everyone that likes Pokemon was like, oh, like, you're the Pokemon guy. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I'll roll with it.
That's me. Do you have any, like, Pokemon tattoos yet?
No tattoos. No. I wasn't allowed to get them for the longest time, so I think it's ingrained. Mum might come after me with a belt, like, what have you done?
So, talking Pokemon now, I mean, I'll ask some broad questions. What's your favourite Pokemon out of all of them?
I got one that I don't reckon any of the listeners or you guys even would have heard of.
Okay.
Thundurus. Who's heard of that one?
Oh, I think I might have watched a video with you recently and you were talking about Thundurus, but my knowledge doesn't go past Gen 2.
That's all right. So my second one, it's a crowd favourite. Hopefully everyone knows Pikachu.
Yeah, of course.
I've got a 10-foot Pikachu in my bedroom at the moment, so he's my best friend. He's actually a bed that they make in China, so kids can sleep in the Pikachu.
Whoa.
I just propped him up against the wall and I was like, this isn't moving anywhere.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of cards from when you were growing up, like collecting from when you were young, or have you obtained a lot of them as you get older?
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think everyone always comes to me with the same story. They're like, oh, Ando, like, I used to have the $250,000 Charizard and I think Mum put it in the recycling bin. I tell you what, everyone says the same thing all the time. And you know what? I'm not even different to that story. I had the exact same one. Like, I remember Mum coming in with the cards one day. She's like, Michael, you're not going to want any of these, are you? And I was like, no, wait, I'm over Pokemon Hub. It's year 7. I'm cool now. And then maybe in year 8, I was like, what have I done?
So I recently, I've always loved Pokemon cards. I've recently kind of got back into trying to collect them because I went back to Mum and Dad's house and I couldn't find any of my Pokemon cards. And then Mum said, I gave all of them to your nephews.
Oh, no.
And I didn't want to be that mean uncle where I go and take all my cards from them. So I have started again from scratch. But in terms of what I'm trying to get the base set, then I'm trying to get all the Jungle, Fossil, and Rocket. I left out base 2 because base 2 just seemed kind of lame. Is that fair?
It's the same as the original base set. They made it twice because it made a lot of money and they're like, let's do that again.
Yep. And then there's the promo ones. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you can get in the promo side. So like there's the main sets, then there's the promos that came with the theme decks, the blister packs. There's all sorts of things. And
And then the other part that gets like another layer of deepness is if you go to say the base set, there's first edition, which would be the rarest.
Yeah.
Then there's Shadowless, which is would you say a misprint?
No, Shadow. So like there's like 3 tiers to it. So they first printed the first edition cards and they're like, all right, if this goes well, we'll keep going. Then that went well. So they made the Shadowless ones, which don't have a shadow on the side. And that went really well. And then they made the Unlimited, which have a shadow on the side. And then recently through the pandemic, that like Charizard that was the first edition one, it was going for almost like $500,000 at one stage. So if you guys at home want to go through the trash can and find that Charizard, could be millionaires, you know?
And so am I right in saying, because I know Logan Paul puts Pokemon cards into the spotlight quite a bit. He had that Charizard, the the $250,000 Charizard. Did someone in Perth have that and you flew over there to hold it?
Oh, that was the craziest story. Yeah, some guy in Perth like hit me up and he's like, Ando, I've won the Charizard. Like, what do you mean you won the Charizard? He's like, I won Logan Paul's Charizard.
What, like some sort of
how did he win it?
Game?
Well, yeah, you had to buy an entry ticket to the unboxing, right? There's 36 tickets and they cost $15,000 a ticket.
Whoa.
And my man bought 4 tickets.
Oh my God.
You would hope so.
And then he won the Charizard. and then he, because he won the Charizard.
What did that guy do for work where he could spend 15 grand on 4 separate tickets?
Well, believe it or not, I actually don't think I can talk about what he does for a living. I just signed an NDA when I got there and everything. And then he's like, all right, so I got this. But then it got so crazy because he won the Charizard, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I also like the Blastoise. So I contacted Mr. Beast, who won the Blastoise, which is the second most expensive card.
Yeah.
And I just offered him a cash price and I bought it off Mr. Beast. And then I found the guy that won the Venusaur, offered him a cash price and bought that one. So I went to Perth.
Are you kidding
and my
me?
man had the 3 rarest cards in existence laid out on the table. He's like,
Just a guy from Perth.
yeah, guy from Perth. Perth's got all the secret billionaires, I think, you know?
crazy.
Obviously, my mind's running wild.
Yeah.
Like I'm like tech giant. What is this guy? Is it drugs? Is he in jets?
Azio, even Mr. Beast selling the card because he's the biggest YouTuber of all time now, isn't he?
He's
So
pretty big,
even him like needing to like selling the card, surely he would have kept it, but he didn't. He sold it, so he must have.
Well,
offered
look,
him
I
a
know.
decent amount of money.
So how much were all those three cards? How much were they worth together? Do you think?
Probably like 700 grand.
Some of the
700
biggest,
grand.
yeah. And
I'll
then there's the other one that Logan Paul's got where it's the Pikachu Illustrator card.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that considered like the rarest card?
Yeah, that's the rarest card in the world. It was like a prize. So like a little magazine, you draw a little picture, and then that was the prize given out. There's only I think like 25 of them or something.
And that's a PSA 10.
Yeah, so if you get the best grade, which is the PSA 10 out of 10 condition, and Logan Paul's got the only one that is a PSA 10.
Yeah,
there could be more around Japan. Like someone has it and hasn't
they don't
come
know.
forward.
Yeah,
but like till we know, that's like Logan Paul's got the best one.
So with I know there's lots of different companies that can do the grading. I'd say PSA, that's the one most people mention.
Yeah, there's PSA, Beckett, and CGC, which are the 3.
So if you've got a card, right, a Pokemon card, a Pikachu, and you want to get it graded by PSA, what does that cost you to get that graded?
So there's like different tiers of how fast you want it returned. Like if you're really impatient, you can pay like $500 and they turn around in 2 weeks, a week or something. But then there's like, a $20 tier, which takes maybe 6 months to get to, but they'll get to it eventually and grade it.
Yeah, because it's a gamble.
Is it like with a diamond, sort of like they have the little magnifying glass and sort of like looking around and doing all the little tests with the white gloves and that sort of stuff?
You got a spot on, man. They get little gloves, they take it out, put it in its case, they like put under a little computer and look for everything, scratches, chips.
Wow. And so it's a gamble though, isn't it? Because you might send a card off and it comes back, you might think it's a 10, but it comes back as a 4.
Yeah, I was in a card shop last night and the guy was telling me a new service he started doing was that he would pre-grade them, like trying to let you know what you'd get. Yeah. Because too many people were sending off cards thinking they're 10s, they come back as 6 and they're really disappointed.
Yeah, right. So where are you keeping these things? I mean, not specifically. I mean, I know it sounds like you're going to rob you. But surely you would need some sort of special fireproof safe that you just keep everything really under lock. Is that the case?
Yeah, pretty much. You have so you're really expensive in that fireproof area. You can even go safety deposit box. I do know a lot of people that do that one.
Like the gun case in the safe room.
It's literally like that. For some people, man, they actually have the full shotgun case and they've just hollowed it out for Pokemon boxes. That's all they have. I've even been to someone's house and they have a bookshelf. They pull back the book and the bookshelf opens up into a Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon room. And they have every box ever made 2 times over in this room. And it was the coolest experience ever.
So they just go in there and breathe it all in and go, I'm so powerful.
It smells like 1998 cardboard pies. Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about your actual collection then with Pokemon cards. And I know this is a hard question to answer, but what's your favourite thing in your collection?
Favorite thing in the collection, it's always changing, but I think at the moment there was Pokemon made this set before the actual Pokemon cards in 1995. It's called Card Ass in Japan. And they originally sketched out Card Ass. That's the translation.
I can see why that didn't catch on.
Japan's got some wild translations. But they made these pre-Pokemon cards and they're cool holographic ones with original hand sketched on there.
With hand-drawn Pokemon?
Yeah, hand-drawn Pokemon, which it's before the actual base set of the cards. And I got this Pikachu and it came back a Gem Mint 10. And during the pandemic, it went to $10,000. So just this one card. Now it's back down to 2, I think. But it is... Oh, it's so cool. It's my favorite card ever. I've also got statues of the Charizard itself. I've got Charizard... I don't know. I got pretty much heaps of Charizard stuff, Ponchu, Pikachu's.
Yeah.
Crazy
well, Ando, I don't want to blow you away, but I've only got one Pokemon card.
I'm ready to see it.
It's in my pocket.
He's going to whip out a first edition Charizard. He's the guy from Perth.
Ben gave me this one earlier because I never quite got into Pokemon when I was younger, but all right, read it and weep.
Oh, my... He's just handed me a psychic energy, guys.
What is that?
Worth about a total of 2 cents, I reckon, if we're lucky.
He told me it was a good one.
Oh, no. You got
It's got an energy eye, and I thought it was like the energy card.
It is from the base set. I gave producer Bell from base set 2.
But it's got a bit of blue tack on it.
He's very attached to the card. He went straight back to grab it out of my hands. Like, you're not taking it home. All right.
It's worth something to me, buddy.
That's coming home with me. Yeah.
Well, look, I really do appreciate you coming in to talk YouTube, talk Pokemon cards with us. It's been a fascinating chat. I'll show you some of my Pokemon cards
I'm excited.
after the podcast is finished because they're not much scratch compared to yours.
I bought a binder as well.
Oh, you bought a binder?
Yeah.
All right, well, look, that probably won't be good for like audio, but I am going to look through that for myself.
And I must say, Ando, like coming from someone who doesn't give a rat's about Pokemon, just I never really got into it when I was younger. My mum actually said it was too violent, so I wasn't allowed to watch it. But coming from someone like a complete outsider, you've been a pleasure to talk to.
I appreciate it.
That was genuinely a fascinating chat, and I find that so crazy how you don't have to be young. Like there's people of all ages, like this guy in Perth who are still completely obsessed about the thing from maybe being a kid, but then you've gone on to make all these billions of dollars and you're still collecting, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Mate, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you guys. It's been amazing.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.